All right, welcome back to how many different projects can RJ do in a month?
There's a lot of pressure on here.
Okay, got my $13 smoothie, 2 rusty nuts, the ambulance, the welder. What does that mean? So we're on our 2003 4runner. This is one of my daily drivers. I have to get this fixed. That's why we're taking a break from the Z's and working on the 4runner. So we've got to do our 200,000 mile service, which includes oil change, transmission flood, differential oil change. I've got to replace the valve cover gaskets on here because they're leaking. This has 210,000 miles on it now. I bought it when it was brand new, so. And of course it's been through several modifications, as you can see, the bed liner exterior and the bumpers. I think that's it. So, all right, let's get to it. Okay, timing belts. I forgot to mention timing belt. We're doing the timing belt on this thing. So the last time I did this, I think was at 105. Oh, I had a sticker on here, and it looks like it got ripped off when they did liner. That's unfortunate. Anyway, I'm pretty sure I did it at 105,000 miles. So first thing we're gonna wanna do is drain the fluids. There we go. I probably should have popped the cap before because now it doesn't want to come off. Oh, great. I just destroyed my radiator cap. It's stuck inside the radiator. Oh, you guys gotta see this. Yeah. I tried to take off the radiator cap and it came out in pieces. What the heck? Gotta order one of those. Since we are doing the radiator and everything, since we're also doing valve cover gaskets and whatever else, I'm probably gonna take off more than you need to actually do. Well, no, I'm not. The time belt. It's gonna be fine. All right, these are 10 millimeter. Looks like we've got some corrosion going on top of our throttle body here. This is probably coolant passage that goes in there, so we'll have to address that. This bumper's gonna have to come off. Oh yeah, and this is gonna be a what does your engine look like using Royal Purple from day one at over 200,000 miles. I think we're gonna have to split these videos up though, because if I do everything all in one video, it's gonna be like an hour long. We'll probably start with doing the timing belt, and then we'll move to valve covers and everything else. So you've got one here, that's for PCV. One guy here, this little tiny guy, looks like it goes to some type of vacuum switch. And then we've got another one. You use your mass airflow sensor plug. Okay, so you have this vacuum line here, which goes to, looks like some type of pressure switch. And then you've got your mass airflow sensor plug here, which is attached to the back side. Oh, I just broke it. Great. Of this housing. I was gonna, take that out of there. And then looks like we have a vacuum line going to our fuel pressure regulator. And at 200,000 miles, everything's pretty tight on here. Oh my goodness. There's our intake assembly and our AFE filter, which probably needs to be cleaned. So now I want to take everything off the radiator. And we'll probably go ahead and do thermostat as well while we're in here. And the water pump, obviously. I guess it's not obvious. We're doing the water pump with the time belt. Can you see what's going on over here? Don't look at my junk in the container there. So our reservoir has 1, 2, 3 bolts on it. They're all 10 millimeter. And when doing a big job like this, you'll want to get plastic baggies and a permanent marker or something so you can mark where you take out all these screws and bolts and everything like that. It'll really help you out. I'm just going to group these on the table here behind me until, what are we going to do next? Fan shroud, hoses. The fan shroud is one piece, it looks like. So I need to take the fan off and then the shroud. Okay, so our fan, clutch, bolts are 12 millimeter. Okay, we also need to replace our serpentine belt. It's got some cracks in it. It's not as bad as our buddies in the Kia, but it's bad enough. And I don't remember if I ordered that. Bolts are giving me fits here. All right, there's no reason to let the camera run for a million years while I just do simple things. Okay, the fan's off. I really struggled trying to get this thing off. I ended up having to use a pair of channel locks and putting it on the fan clutch. And this was like the last bolt that we were working on, right? So I had the face of this against this bolt while I had the wrench on there and squeeze this and turn it back to actually get it off. I'm pretty sure I spent like 30 minutes trying to get that thing off, and it's 4 bolts. Okay, so the fan's off, that's down there. Now we need to take the shroud off. I've got 1 bolt off over here already. So it looks like we've got another one right below the fill neck. This needs to come off. The fluid in this radiator looks really good. Now, I am afraid though that once I have this radiator out, I should probably replace it. I mean, it's not leaking, but it is a aluminum radiator with plastic end caps. And we all know what happens to those after a while. I'm gonna look tonight and see what if I can even get like a Mishimoto radiator or something like that for it. The only problem with getting aftermarket stuff is they usually don't fit perfect. So you want to pull your fan and your shroud out at the same time and try not to damage the radiator in the process. There is a clip that holds one of your transmission lines, like a zip tie clip. What are we hung on? I think we're hung on the lower radiator hose, so we need to take the upper one off so we can slide the fan shroud this way. We're going to use our giant channel locks because that's convenient. Okay, so our card's full. So now take the fan and the shroud, move it towards the driver's side, and then pull everything out. Here are those clips I was telling you about that hold the transmission lines. Make sure you disconnect those. That is a big radiator. And I definitely need to find all the nuts for my fan, my clutch fan. I might go do like an electric fan setup on here too. Okay, so that's out. So next you want to disconnect your transmission lines, cooler lines, and then we'll do our radiator hose, and then we'll pull the radiator out. Okay, this is going to be fun. Let me just show you what's going to happen here. So it's probably better if I don't have this light on. All right, so transmission line top, transmission line bottom, and then we'll disconnect our radiator hose from the thermostat housing, and then we'll just, there's 4 bolts that hold the radiator in. You can see one right there, and then on the bottom, and then 2 on the other side, and then I'll just pull the radiator out. And then we can start taking apart the front of the engine to do our timing belt. Oh my god, there's always something on there. Alright, we're back. We are continuing the timing belt install on our 4runner, and I just noticed this, and I don't know how I did this, but our inlet for the radiator is broken. Now, I was researching upgraded radiators, but it turns out the only radiator that I could find for this vehicle is for the V6 or the FJ, and the inlet and the outlet are swapped, so it's not going to work for this. I'll probably just have to get another OEM radiator, or I'd like to custom build one myself. I don't have my TIG welder set up, or none of that stuff is done yet. We need to get radiator out so we can finish taking off all the accessories off the engine to do the timing belt and the valve cover gaskets. Alright, this is one of my favorite tools, and it is used to take the hose clamps off instead of using, you know, big pair of channel locks. Clamp it on, and it's ratcheting right here, so when you get it set, right, it holds it in place. So it makes it real convenient, especially when you're in like real tight spaces, this thing is very handy. Compressor removal tool, get it in there, and kind of work your way around, all the way around. You know, it's hard to believe that this truck is almost 20 years old. Look at that. Look how nice that is. I want to show you what I mean with this tool, how nice it is. Now, we need to get our 4 bolts to hold the radiator. It looks like that's a 13. You can't see nothing with this airbox anyway, so let's go ahead and take this airbox out. I'd like to do, now you should be able to see what I'm doing here. There's a bolt on the other side. 12 mil on this side, 13 on this side. The bolts come out through the front. Okay, I got it. So let me show you. You get a bolt there, there, and then it's going to be inside here on both sides. This other one, right, it's going to be. I'm trying to avoid taking this bumper off. Start tightening it back up. Okay. 4 bolts out. Grab this guy. Grab this guy. There she is, folks. Now, we have lots more room. Okay, so we gotta take off our serpentine belt. It's got some cracks in it, so we'll probably replace it. So we'll start with the belt, and then we'll pull our timing covers off. So I wonder what's the best view for you guys. Do a close up, right? Can we get it kind of over here a little bit? Let's try that. Alright, let's put some tools away before we lose everything. Here's our belt, if you can see that. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's not the greatest. Be good to carry around as a spare for sure. Alright, timing cover. Let's take off. I wonder if I ordered the thermostat. Let's see what all I ordered here. Oil filter, inner tie rod, outer tie rod, outer tie rod, inner tie rod, emission filter and gasket kit. This is our valve cover gaskets, and this is our timing belt kit. Radiator bolts. We're gonna go back in the radiator. Okay, water pump, timing belt. Looks like slack adjust, idler pulley, seal, pulley, water pump seal. I feel like I'm missing something here. Okay, I don't feel like I have everything I need. I don't even think I did the water pump the first time I did this. Maybe I did. It was only 105,000, so. Alright, let's take off these timing covers. Should be 10mm bolts. Oh, let me have the camera pointed in the proper direction. I guess we kind of had it, not really. Our power steering pressure switch guy is in the way of this bolt. Put this back in our radiator. There's our 2 water pump bolts, or fan clutch bolts we were missing. Okay, so now I need to remove this stuff. So I got a bolt right here. Looks like it's already loose. I forgot to tighten it. Like he said, almost 20 years old. Alright, so we've got, well, we got one that's not broken. one clip, not broken. AC, compressor, clutch, clippy do. Oh, one more bolt. I didn't see it. Right under here. So 4 bolts, 1 nut. All right, this coolant tube needs to come out. I wonder if I should just, this has to come off anyway. I wonder if I just take it off. All right, welcome back. Today, we're gonna work on our 2003 Toyota 4Runner. We're doing a 200,000 mile service on it. So we have to replace the timing belt, water pump. We're doing valve cover gaskets because they're leaking, transmission filter in service, differential service, and I have a little bit of shimmy when I'm driving down the road, so I'm going to replace the inner tie rod ends and the outer tie rod ends, and I think that's it. Now I started this project like in February, so I started tearing it apart, as you can see here, and I didn't get very far. So now we're back, and it's now June, almost July. But I did want to go ahead and thank our subscribers. We're up to 330 as of this recording. If you could, please like the video, comment on the video, so we can get that number up. So I want to try and get to 1,000 this year. All right, thank you. Okay, we need to take off this bracket. So the fan bracket, which is in front of the water pump, it looks like it's attached to the AC compressor. So we'll grab our 12 mil. Okay, that bolt's rather long. And I'm gonna try using these guys to hold my bolts. That's a stud, 12 mil right here. And I foresee myself ripping my hand on this stud right there. What else we got? Looks like we're attached to the AC compressor, and there's definitely a large bolt down here that's also probably goes to the AC compressor. So it looks like 14 mil. Just double check before I get a socket. Yep, I can go ahead and take this one off. Okay, what else are you attached to? Are you all part of the AC compressor? So if this is attached to the compressor here, it's got to be part of that compressor. Let me look down here. All right, let me pause this. All right. $14 mil bolt right here, and there's one underneath. I'm gonna see if I can get you a good shot. It's right next to the oil filter. So, I'm gonna put my finger on it. It's right here. Okay, so I'm gonna take those out. So this top one we'll use a wrench. Okay, maybe we should use something else. And of course, our AC line is in the way. Bottom one. Can we do the bottom one? Tension. You gotta be kidding me. Thing's in there. That's what happens when you put steel bolts in aluminum with no anti-seize and 200,000 miles. Okay. Let's get the big boy on this. It doesn't fit. Of course it doesn't. Alright, so the cross member and the oil filter's in the way. So if you can see that, right, if I would go straight, it needs to go through the cross member. I can get a ratchet on there, but I need to move, I need to take out this oil filter. So let's do that. I gotta change the oil anyway. Good old K&N, not sponsored. If you need the part number, it should be rolling here pretty soon. There we go, HP 1002. Okay. Alright, what is this, coolant or oil? I better check before I open stuff where it shouldn't go. That looks like oil. Should it be oil? Alright, now I should be able to get a ratchet in here, maybe. I'm looking. I'm twisting it right off. One of the two is happening. Come on, don't mess with me right now. I got oil all over me. Can't be touching this camera. Alright. I feel like I'm gonna snap it, so I'm gonna spray some penetrant oil on there and let it soak. Okay, so we need to get into this one somehow, and then the one below it. Good luck, buddy. Good luck. Alright, we'll let that soak. Alright, another day on the 4runner. Last left off, I was trying to get the AC compressor bolts off, so I sprayed them penetrant. So now we're back on it today, and we're up to 334. Hopefully, we can get this off without having to use heat. Let's see how lucky we get. Oh, it's gonna break. Wish this cross member wasn't in the way. Well, I don't know if that was the bolt or the ratchet. Okay. We're gonna do the double wrench method. So if you've ever seen this, right, you want more leverage. Well, I think the top one's working, which is good. Okay, ratcheting wrench. Alright, let's pause this for a second. Alright, may have found a wrench that works. Got my Matco gear wrench with the 15-degree angle, so it's angled towards me. Straight ones just can't get past all these hoses. I was able to get a 3/8 ratchet on there, but the wrench just gives me more leverage. I would keep getting the ratchet stuck on the control arm and everything else. Almost there, come on. Okay, one bolt's out. It's really dry.